Good morning, good afternoon, good evening or good night whenever this video is being watched. Welcome back to Shooting Day, and for this finally 15th edition of Shooting Day we are going to do something different. Sorry for the big delay, I have been very sick lately. I had fever for a full week and I'm almost fully recovered. At least ready to make some content again. And to begin the story is that I never thought that I became part of a shooting range by accident. I had plans for another sport that never became reality. I almost, literally almost became an archer. I finally also found a game that comes close to what my experience were, and in this video I'm going to tell about my very short archer career. My first experience with archery was during a day out with my former work. A former colleague was an archer, probably still is, and we were invited to experience it. It was love at first sight. I enjoyed it pretty much and I saw it as a potential new sport for me. I never found a sport that suited me and this seemed perfect for me. I also was able to show that I had the skills. I was pretty accurate at the start. This would later prove again at the shooting range I'm part of now, but more about that later in this video. Not long after that I found out that there was an archery range in my hometown. It almost looked like too perfect to be true, because unfortunately enough it was. The mood was already very distant by the owners and I didn't feel comfortable. After a long period of considering, I heard that things escalated there. So my choice was easy, not going back there. It felt like a good impression that didn't do its justice later on. Getting invited for something with the biggest promises and later on you experience that none of this is true and they just bribed you in. That was the feeling I got. Not saying it was true, that was the feeling I got. The aftertaste, let's say. Unfortunately enough, there weren't also much more archery ranges nearby, so eventually I wasn't confronted with the sport anymore. In the end, it never catch me. Eventually my final time holding a bow was in Norway 2015. Viking Museum, Lofoten, the biggest Viking museum in Norway, Lofoten Islands. This is also the only place where there is an actual picture of me doing the sport. It was unfortunately the last time because the damage was already done. There was already too much time between the very first one, the local range here, and this moment in Norway. I didn't feel the passion that I felt the very first time. It felt strange, odd, unfamiliar. I think if the situation didn't escalate on that range the way it did, I would have gone for it. Even if the mood was just a bit more warming, I probably wouldn't have been considering, questioning and doubting for so long. So getting back to it at Norway was like closing a chapter. One last taste, but it wasn't the same anymore. Book closed. Eventually, by accident, many years later, 2018 from my memory, there was at the same form of work, one day a customer came in. And I heard him talking to my boss about a shooting range with guns instead of bows. My ears were like radars at that point. So I finished my duties and joined the conversation. Turned out he was the chairman. I asked for the requirements and it turned out to be easier than I thought at first. It was an air rifle range, no gun license needed. In the Netherlands, if you are part from a air rifle range and you have an own rifle, all you need is a weapon locker and a case for transport. You don't need a license to own an air rifle. It also depends on the caliber and the amount of pressure that comes out of it, but just the regular competitive ones, you can just own them with no issue. I was invited to visit that same week to see if I would enjoy it. The rest is history. The very first day At the shooting range, I showed the same potential skills to perform in the highest league. I have my bad days here and then, but still to this day the same passion and competitive motivations to outperform everyone. Friends off the track, rivals on the track. I got by now 8 competitions in total, and 6 of them I came home with a trophy. I'm not the overall best, but when I won prizes, I did it in second class, third class, and even got podiums a couple times in the highest class. I even got promoted to track commander. I am responsible now that the track is set up, the bullets are ready, and I basically have full responsibility when a stand malfunctions. I can enter the track at all times whenever necessary and tell everyone to hold their fire so I can do some necessary maintenance. I am doing this for 6 years now, and I will continue doing this for as long as I live. And that is a story how I became a gunman and almost before this became an archer. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video or this story, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications to not miss out anything, you know the drill. Check down the socials via the links in the description. On my left you can see the shooting day playlist and the video, and of course on my right the 2 subscribe buttons for the main channels. I'm going to continue recovering. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Bye bye.